शान्ति शान्ति गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। असत्यो माहेथी प्रभु परम सत्य तुलै जा ऊंडा अंधारी थी प्रभु परम तेजे तुलै जा महामृत्यु माथी अमृत समीपे नाथ लै जा तुहीणो हूँ छो तो तुझ दर्शन न दान दई जा। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सर्वितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। वन्दे देव उमापति सुरगुरु वन्दे जगत कारणं वन्दे पन्नगभूषणं मृगधरं वन्दे पशुनापते वन्दे सूर्यशशाङ्कवनहिनयनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं वन्दे भक्तजनाश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करम्। આપણે હનુમાન ચાલીસા કરવાના છે, તો આપ સૌ અમારી સાથે પ્લીઝ હનુમાન ચાલીસા કરજો. થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ. બોલો સિયાવર રામચંદ્ર ભગવાન की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुर सुधारी, बरनौ रघुवर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार।
पवन सुत हनुमान जी महाराज की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री उमापति महादेव की जय। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार, बरनौ रघुवर बिमल जसो जो दायक फल चार। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मही हरहु क्लेश विकार। सो साथे बोलिए, जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिन्हु लोक उजागर। राम दूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा।
महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरण विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा।
हाथ ब्रज और ध्वजा बिराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊं सांझे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन।
विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया।
सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे।
लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई।
सहस्र बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। संकादिक ब्रह्मानि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित ईसा।
यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाँ दे, कभी कोविद कहि सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि किन्ना, राम मिलाए राजपद दीन्हा।
तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। युग सहस्र जो जन फल बानु, लील्योताई मधुर फल जानू।
प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माही, झलति लांघि गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के चेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे पेटे।
राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होतन आज्ञा बिन पेसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहो को डरना।
अपना तेज समारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाथ के कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे।
नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे।
सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे।
चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा, हे प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे।
अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, यस पर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुमरे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा।
तुमरो भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुपर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई।
और देवता चित नव धरिए, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करिए। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा।
जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई।
जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, झूठहि बंदी महासुख होई।
जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा।
तुलसीदास सदा हरिचेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महादेरा।
पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसौ सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। श्री उमापति महादेव की जय। श्री उमापति महादेव की जय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम
नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
जटाधराय शिव जटाधराय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
जटाधराय शिव जटाधराय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
कोटेश्वराय शिव कोटेश्वराय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
कोटेश्वराय शिव कोटेश्वराय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
रामेश्वराय शिव रामेश्वराय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
रामेश्वराय शिव रामेश्वराय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ બધાને, જય રાંદલમાં. ગુરુર બ્રહ્મા ગુરુર વિષ્ણુ ગુરુર્દેવો મહેશ્વરા ગુરુર સાક્ષાત પરબ્રહ્મ તસ્मै શ્રી ગુરવે નમઃ. तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः.
Jai Shri Krishna. I am Vaju Lakhani, Indu's elder brother. Indu was my beloved sister. We were 7 siblings and Indu was the third child. She was born in Kiligori, Kenya. Indu was intelligent, lively child who had many friends. She was also very loving, kind and generous. She was always by Ba's side and helped her to look after her siblings. She married to Vallabhdas and moved to Uganda. She was very proud of her 3 sons and their families. She always loved to talk about her grand and great-grandchildren. Sadly, she passed away on the 18th of May 2020, but leaves her a wonderful legacy. We will really miss her very much. I could not have wished for a more fun and loving sister. I pray her soul rest in peace. I promise her that we will always be there to support her sons and family. Jai Shri Krishna.
આપ બધાને જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. અમારા મોટા બેન ઇન્દુમતી રૂપારેલિયા, જેમનો જન્મ કિબિગોરી કેન્યામાં થયેલો, ત્યારબાદ એમના લગ્ન મબાલેમાં રૂપારેલિયા ફેમિલીમાં થયેલો. અમારા બનેવી શ્રી વલ્લભદાસ રૂપારેલિયા. મોટા બેન અમારા 7 ભાઈ બેન વચ્ચેના સૌથી મોટા બેન હતા. ઇન્દુમતી ખૂબ જ માયાળુ અને દયાળુ હતા. બહુ જ લાગણીપૂર્વક હતા. નાના કે મોટા બધાને આદરથી બોલાવતા. એમની ઉદારતા મારા બનેવી શ્રી વલ્લભદાસ રૂપારેલિયા અને ઇન્દુમતીએ પાસેથી શીખે. ઉદારતા તો બહુ જ હતી. આ બધાની પ્રાર્થનાથી અને દુઆઓથી આપણે પ્રાર્થના કરીએ કે પ્રભુ એના આત્માને પૂરતી શાંતિ આપે. જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. હરિ ઓમ.
तुम ही मेरे मंदिर, तुम ही मेरी पूजा, तुम ही देवता हो, तुम ही देवता हो. तुम ही मेरे मंदिर, तुम ही मेरी पूजा, तुम ही देवता हो, तुम ही देवता. कोई मेरे आँखों से देखे तो समझे कि तुम मेरे क्या हो, कि तुम मेरे क्या हो. तुम ही मेरे मंदिर, तुम ही मेरी पूजा, तुम ही देवता रिश्ता कोई सो रहा है। तुम ही मेरे मंदिर, तुम ही मेरी पूजा, तुम ही देवता हो, तुम ही देवता हो। तुम ही मेरे मंदिर, तुम ही मेरी पूजा, तुम ही देवता हो, तुम ही देवता हो।
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ બધાને. અમારા મોટી બેન ઇન્દુબેન સોમવારે મોટી 11ના દિવસે શ્રીજી ચરણ પામ્યા છે. તેથી રૂપારેલિયા અને લાખાણી પરિવારમાં એક મોટી ખોટ પડી ગઈ છે. ભગવાનને આપણે બધા પ્રાર્થના કરીએ કે આ બંને પરિવારને હિંમત આપે અને મોટી બેનના આત્માને શાંતિ આપે. મોટી બેનના પ્રેમ વિશે આજે એક નાની વાત મારે કેવી છે. આ બંને પરિવારમાં મોટી બેનનું નિકનામ કોઈએ નહોતું પાડ્યું, પણ મારી દીકરી પ્રિયા ઠકરાર નાની હતી ત્યારે મોટી બેન પ્રિયાને કહેતા, પ્રિયુ તું ઓકે છો, પ્રિયુ તું ઓકે છો. ત્યારથી પ્રિયાએ મોટી બેનને પ્રિયુ માસી નિકનામથી બોલાવતી. પ્રિયાને ખબર નહોતી કે એનું નામ ઇન્દુમાસી છે. એવો હતો મારી મોટી બેનનો પ્રેમ પ્રિયા માટે અને બધા જ માટે. મોટી બેન વોઝ અ પર્સન who has been everywhere where you have been, someone you can call when things aren't going right. So she was a mom, a sister who is a friend forever, and I think she will be missed forever and every day. Jai Shri Krishna. Om Shanti Shanti.
I love you and I miss you very much, Priyomasi.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Randalma. It's very sad and hard to accept the demise of our beloved Motiben, who was Motiben to the whole Lakhani family and even Moti for Vallabhdas. My Motiben was a very kind person. I remember when I visited her in India, we were shopping and she saw a little boy sitting in a corner crying. She went to him and asked him why he was crying. Are you looking for your parents? Are you lost? He said, no. I have no parents and I have not eaten for 2 days. I'm hungry. Motben said, come with us. We took him to the nearest restaurant. She bought him thali and gave him 100 rupees. This is just a mere example of how generous she really was. She was also very honest, humble and affectionate. I have a poem here which I would like to read. If tears build a stairway and memories in a lane, I would walk right up to the heaven and bring you home again. No farewell words were spoken, no time to say goodbye. You were gone before I knew it, and only God knows why. My heart still aches in sadness, and secret tears still flow. What it meant to lose you, no one will ever know. Sisters have a special way of making you feel at rest, and to have had a sister like you, I know that I am blessed. God rest her soul in peace. Jai Shri Krishna.
Okay, now it's the song that is for Mom that the family have requested, so I hope it's okay. तू कितनी अच्छी है, तू कितनी भोली है, प्यारी प्यारी है ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ। तू कितनी अच्छी है, तू कितनी भोली है, प्यारी प्यारी है ओ माँ, ओ ओ माँ, ओ माँ, तू कन लागी है माँ तेरी अखियाँ, तू कन लागी है माँ तेरी अखियाँ, मेरे लिए जागी है तू सारी सारी रतियाँ, मेरी निंदिया पे अपनी निंदिया भी तूने वारी है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, अपना नहीं तुझे सुख दुख कोई, अपना नहीं तुझे सुख दुख कोई, मैं मुस्काया तू मुस्काई, मैं रोया तू रोई, मेरे हंसने पे मेरे रोने पे तू बलिहारी है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, माँ बच्चों की चाह होती है, माँ बच्चों की चाह होती है, वो होते हैं किस्मत वाले जिनकी माँ होती है, कितनी सुंदर है, कितनी शीतल है, न्यारी न्यारी है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, तू कितनी अच्छी है, तू कितनी भोली है, प्यारी प्यारी है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ।
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Ranganma. I am Narendra Roji by Ruparelia. I am Param Puja Indumati's their brother-in-law. Indumati was married to Motabai 60 years ago, before I was born. Motabai, Indumati, Sima, and I have spent many a time together, going out, visiting each other, and going together to social functions. Indumati treated me like a son. I am saddened by the sudden demise of Indumati, whose life has been shortened by the dreaded and deadly corona. Indumati has been a big part of our parivar, who was involved with everything and supported as well. When I joked with her and teased her with Motabai, she used to say to me, "Be mindful," and said, "Tame mara dikra છો, એટલે દેરપણું નહીં કરતા, ને તો લાફો આવી જશે." We will miss you very much, Indumati, and will always be in our hearts. May your soul rest in eternal peace. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Rangalma.
જય રાંડલમાં.
બહુ એક સરસ મા ઉપરનું એક ભજન છે અને આ ખાસ કરીને બાના ચરણોમાં આપણે અર્પણ કરશું. This is a very beautiful song for mom that we are going to do for Ba, and we are going to dedicate this to her. And what I have been told from Bhai, she was a very loving, very caring, and a very beautiful soul who wanted to help everyone, and she was always looking after everybody. So this is for Ben, for Ba. Thank you. F. माँ तारी ममता केवी रूड़ी छे, अमारा जी डीठो तड़े कोने ना रात डीठी पीड़ा बधी ते तो एकली वेती ना डीठो तड़े कोने ना रात डीठी पीड़ा बधी ते तो एकली वेती ऊभी छो तड़कामा छायो बनीने एवी मीठी माड़ी अमोने मળી છે એવી મીઠી માડી અમોને મળી છે ના કઈ માંગ્યું ને ના કઈ લીધું મારી સદા તે તો દિલથી છે દીધું ના કઈ માંગ્યું ને ના કઈ લીધું મારી સદા તે તો દિલથી છે દીધું દેતી છો રહીને દેવી બનીને દેતી રહી છો દેવી બનીને એવી મીઠી માડી અમોને મળી છે એવી મીઠી માડી અમોને મળી છે મા તારી મમતા કેવી રૂડી છે અમારા જીવનની તો મીઠી મૂડી છે અમારા જીવનની તો મોંઘી મૂડી છે અમારા જીવનની તો મોંઘી મીઠી મૂડી છે તો
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ, જય રામબા. હું રમેશ રૂપારેલિયા છું, વલ્લભભાઈ રૂપારેલિયાનો નાનો ભાઈ, as per I said. I'm Ramesh Ruparelia, Motabai's youngest son, youngest brother. And as per I said, Indumati was my eldest babi, and we will sorely miss her. I have some fond memories, as mentioned earlier, and I'm just going to share one of those memories with you. And it was back in 1999 when we were in India at a sapta, and we were staying at a hotel, and we were going to go to the venue, and Indumati said, let's share a rickshaw together to the venue. She joyfully marched down the stairs and onto the street, and went up to the first rickshaw guy and said, you know, how much is the fare to this particular venue? And the guy said 70 rupees. And Indumati looked at me and said, we need to barter with these people. And she said to the guy, 70 rupees is too expensive. You know? And he said, no, 70 rupees. So she just left him and went to the next guy. And the next rickshaw guy said, 70 rupees as well. And she said, no, olay 70 rupees. So he said, I'm 70 rupees as well. So she went to the next guy, and they all knew what was happening, and they all stuck together until about 15 minutes in, we got to the last rickshaw guy, and he cottoned on that, you know, she's not going to give up. And he said, 69 rupees. And Indumati looked at me and said, that's the one we want. And we jumped into the rickshaw after 15 minutes of bartering, and we went off to the venue. And as we were starting off, I said, so we went from 70 rupees to 69 rupees. That's great. And I looked at her and I said, that's savings of at least half a penny. And we looked at each other and we absolutely burst out laughing. It was such a funny moment, and it was a great moment. And we shared that story many times, and every time we even talk about it, we just fall about laughing. I think the moral of that story is the way Indumati thought. She was very determined, and she knew what she wanted and goes for it. And one of the things that I'm going to miss is that fun side of her. She had that wonderful cheeky smile that I'm sure a lot of us will remember, and that cheeky smile as well. So I will certainly miss that, and God bless her soul.
I remember when I was going to attend my first family function, where I was going to meet the whole of the Ruparelia family. And I remember meeting Indumati at that function, and she welcomed me into the family with open arms, which was very reassuring and comforting, and something that I will always remember. Of course, Indumati and I were both babbies within the family, so we did have that instant connection, which was lovely. I'm very proud of Indumati and the legacy she has left behind. With her 3 sons, their wives and families, what a testament that is to Indumati and Motabai, and I know that we are all proud of them all. I will miss Indumati very much, and may her soul rest in peace. Jai Shri Krishna.
उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to do this very beautiful Randal Matajini Stuti. I was told by Bhai that Ba believed a lot in Randal Mataji and Shiv Dada. So this is a Stuti I've very, very specially prepared for Ba. So I'm going to do this for her. E. E. बोलो आद्य शक्ति रांदल मातनी जय। हे आद्य शक्ति दयाळु देवी रांदल मात नमो नमो। हे सृष्टि पालन हार देवी रांदल मात नमो नमः। हे महिषासुर हर नारी माँ मारा काम क्रोध ने बाळजे। दया करीने शरण लेजे रांदल मात नमो नमो। हे चामुंडने हर नारी माँ मने पापथी छोड़ावजे। दया करीने भक्ति देजे रांदल मात नमो नमो। तारा भरोसे जीवन नैया हांकी रह्यो छु मात रे। बली सुखानी पारु तारो रांदल मात नमो नमो। हे धड़वा वाड़ी दयाड़ी मातु रेम नजरो राखजे। संकट जो आवे सहया करजे रांदल मात नमो नमो। मांझ्या मेड़ा भांगजे माँ पारणिया बंधावजे। संसार माँ सुख शांति देजे रांदल मात नमो नमः। आंगणिया जवाड़ माड़ी रे कुमकुम पगले पधारजे। दिव्य दर्शन नादान देजे रांदल मात नमो नमः। रूड़ा रखो पाराखजे माँ विघ्न सवितारजे। विधि अभय नादान देजे रांदल मात नमो नमः। हजारों माफ करजे बेडली पारो तारजे कायम मारा रुदिये रेजे रांदल मात नमो नमो मारी मनवृत्तिने स्थिर करीने चरणे राखजे भक्त कहे मा पारो तारो रांदल मात नमो नमो रांदल मात नमो नमो रांदल मात नमो नमो हे आद्य शक्ति दयाळु देवी रांदल मात नमो नमो हे सृष्टि पालन हार देवी रांदल मात नमो नमो रांदल मात नमो नमो रांदल मात नमो नमो बोलो रांदल मातनी जय
જય રાંદલમાં મારું નામ સુધીર છે. હું મનસુખભાઈ ને શારદાબેન રૂપારેલિયાનો મોટો દીકરો. ઇન્દુભાભી અમારા મોટા બા હતા, પણ અમે બધા એને ઇન્દુભાભી જ કહેતા. મોબાઈલમાં સાથે મોટું કુટુંબ સાથે રહેતા ને બધા ઇન્દુભાભી કહેતા, તો અમે છોકરાઓ પછી ઇન્દુભાભી કહેવા માંડ્યા. એને બહુ પસંદ હતું કે તમે મને ઇન્દુભાભી જ કહેવાનું, મોટા બા નહીં કહેવાનું. ઇન્દુભાભી આપણને બધાને ઘણી યાદી મૂકી ગયા છે. નજીકની યાદી તો અમારી છે કે લગ્નનો પ્રસંગ હતો ઘરમાં, તો કે મને લગ્નમાં તો આવવાની જ છો, અને લગ્ન બહુ પસંદ મજા આવતી, કે બહુ મજા આવી રીતે લગ્ન પછી પણ. પછી હમણાં નવરાત્રિનો પ્રસંગ હતો, તમે 1-2 ફોટા જોયા હતા. વ્હીલચેરમાં હતા, પણ એ કે હું આવીશ થોડીક વાર માટે, એ છેક છેલ્લે સુધી રહ્યા હતા. આ બધી યાદી આપણે રાખીએ. Indubhabi was a very religious, caring person with a good sense of humor and a big heart. She has left us a lot of memories, and we treasure the memories and the blessings. આપણે બધા પ્રાર્થના કરીએ. We all pray to bless her soul, કે એના આત્માને શાંતિ મળે. જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ, જય રાંદલમાં. ઓમ શાંતિ શાંતિ શાંતિ.
My name is Harsha Beta, and I'm Indubhabi's youngest Naran. This tribute is on behalf of all our sisters, being late Jamnaben Kotecha, Krishna Lakani, Ranju Pao, Cheshri Unaka, and Daksha Modi. Indubhabi always treated us like her own daughters, being our guide many times and more so a good friend. She always made us feel comfortable with her and never caused any barriers. Our highlight was that Shadababi, Indubhabi and us girls used to go shopping on Melton Road on Saturdays, after which the whole family would have dinner together, sit at the table for hours, laugh and joke till late night. Same fun time we shared in Odby too in recent years at Seema and Naren. We admire her, the way she's brought up her boys, as we can all see how respectful and helpful they are towards everybody. Kirit, Hitesh and Paresh, we're all very proud of you, your spouses and also your children. She also was very proud and protective of you all. Indubhabi also gave unconditional love to Motapai, setting a fine example of how they looked after each other through thick and thin. Her relationship with Ma also was unique. We all know how much time they all spent together in India creating wonderful memories. We'll miss your company, Indubhabi. Gone too soon and suddenly. Love you and may your soul rest in peace. Thank you for giving me this chance.
Jai Shri Krishna and Jai Randalma to everybody. My memory with her was so nice because me, Harsha Masi, Sima Mami, we would sit hours and hours and would have such a laugh because she was so bubbly, so lively. And one thing was that she would not act like different age, she'll act like whatever she same age. If she was with a kid, she'll act as a kid. And it was so nice. And I remember once we were playing Tin Patti, and then when she had her winnings, she gave all to the kids. And I said, Indumami, આ તો તમારી જીત છે, why તમે બધા આપી દીધા તમારી ઓલું? તો કે ના કે લીનો ઓલા 3 એકા નીકળ્યા ને મેં સાંચવીને રાખ્યા હતા. I still laugh when I said, Indumami, next time I'm going to make sure જ્યારે પત્તા ફેરીશ ને I'm going to check કે મારા 4 એકા છે ને ઓલામાં So I still remember, she goes, yeah, એ તો ના કહેવાય ત્યારે પણ એ કે થીમ પતિ મેં રાખી હતી એક કાની તો એમાં મારી જીત છે. And this is so nice. And I think I will really, really miss her, the talk with her, the laugh. And, we can tease her. She won't get any offended. I'm a manja person. As I said, she'll take it so easily and just laugh it off. And, we can't get bored. Hours and hours we used to talk. And she will really, really be missed. And ભગવાન એને શાંતિ આપે ને જાવે ને જે એની વિશેષ હોય બધી પૂરી કરે. થેન્ક્સ. જય રાંદલમાં, જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
We have so many memories of spending time with Indumati and Vallabhdas when we were younger. But as you grow older, you go away to university, you get married, have your own family. Those precious moments don't happen very often. However, I'll always remember last year I was lucky enough at Christmas to go and see Indumati. It was such a special moment. I remember that she hadn't forgotten the girls' names. She asked about being the Anashika, and at the time that it was time for me to go, she just kept on calling my name. Dina, ayaw. Dina, metana akidu. Dina, bultine. Dina, bachiayaw. So every time I was trying to walk out, she'd call me back. And that's the type of person Indumati was. She loved people. She really, really did love people. And I'll never forget those moments that I spent with her. And I'm so pleased that I got the opportunity to do that.
तू कितनी अच्छी है, तू कितनी भोली है, प्यारी प्यारी है। ओ माँ,
I am James Briggs, the eldest brother of Jocelyn Ruparelia, and I'm speaking on behalf of my mother, Janet, and my brother Matthew. And first of all, I'd like to send my deepest condolences to the Lakhani and Ruparelia families for the loss of Indumati Ruparelia. I did not know Mrs. Ruparelia very well, but I did attend the prayers last week, and it was very clear to me from the prayers that she was a treasured mother, grandmother, sister, and you've lost an important part of your family, and I'm very sorry for that loss. On behalf of the Briggs family, I would like to wish her soul well on the next part of her journey, and we send our strength to the family she has left behind. Finally, I would like to thank the Kirit, Parish and Hitesh and both of the Lakhani and Ruparelia families for allowing us to attend the prayers last week. They were very moving, and it was an honour for me to be present. I have much admiration for the togetherness of your families on such a sad occasion. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Debbie McKellar. I'm Sharon Ruparelia's sister, Hitesh's sister-in-law. I just wanted to pay a short tribute to Mrs. Ruparelia. She came into our lives about 25 years ago when my sister Sharon met Hitesh, and our first trip, so with my husband John and son Forbes, was to High Banks, where we enjoyed the swimming pool and the very warm welcome from both Mr. and Mrs. Ruparelia and the fabulous food. And Mrs. Ruparelia is really proud to show us her spice cupboard, which was absolutely full of the most amazing spices. She was a lovely lady, always very welcoming and warm, always wanted to make sure that we had enough food, and always wanted us to visit with her when we came up, mostly Forbes and myself. And those are my memories, and her big smile was something that I'll always remember. And she was a lovely lady, and may she now rest in peace.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ, જય રાંદલમાં. આઈ એમ એ નેહા. હું લાસ્ટ યરથી માસીને ત્યાં એવરીડે કુકિંગ માટે જતી હતી અને પછી કેર હોમમાં જઈને એમને જમાડતી હતી અને એમને ભાવતી વાનગી બનાવીને જમાડતી હતી. હું એમને ફ્રેશ અને હેલ્ધી ફૂડ ખાવાનો આગ્રહ કરતી હતી અને તેમને ગમતી વાનગી બનાવતી હતી. તેઓ ઘણા હેપી હતા. અમે ઘણો સારો ટાઈમ સ્પેન્ડ કર્યો છે. તેમનો નેચર ઘણો જ સારો હતો. માસી જોડે હું એવરીડે જુદા જુદા ટોપિક પર વાત કરતી હતી અને તે મારી કંપની એન્જોય કરતા હતા. આઈ મિસ હર એ લોટ. જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ, જય રાંદલમાં.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Randelma. My name is Sonam. I am Indu's Masi's carer. We know each other last 2 years. We spent a time every day, couple of hours. We are eating together. When I am sitting with Indu Masi, she was very happy with me because she needs someone with her. I went out with Masi to family function and she was very happy to meet people. She was a lovely woman. I did Masi's care like my mom. I missed her lot. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Randelma.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ, જય રાંદેલમાં. મારું નામ સોનમ છે. હું માસીની કેર કરતી હતી. અમે બંને એકબીજાને લગભગ 2 વર્ષથી જાણીએ છીએ. અમે દરરોજના ઘણો સમય સાથે બેસીને પસાર કરતા હતા. અમે સાથે જમતા હતા. જ્યારે હું માસી સાથે હતી ત્યારે માસી ઘણા ખુશ રહેતા બિકોઝ એમને તેમની સાથે કોઈ રહે તે ગમતું હતું. હું જ્યારે માસી સાથે તેમના કોઈ ફેમિલી ફંક્શનમાં જતી ત્યારે મેં જોયું માસી બધા લોકોને મળીને ખૂબ જ ખુશમાં અને આનંદમાં રહેતા હતા. હું માસીની કેર જાણે મારા મમ્મી હોય એમ જ કરતી હતી. માસી ખૂબ જ પ્રેમાળ વ્યક્તિ હતા. હું એમને હજી પણ યાદ કરું છું અને કરતી રહીશ. સૌને મારા જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ, જય રાંદેલમાં.
Gentlemen, please kindly sit down. If you have got mobile phone, please kindly switch off your mobile phone. We're going to chant Om 3 times. All together. Karabindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yogina Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrutyor Mokshiyamamratat Mrutyunjay Mahadeva Trahi Mamam Sharanagata Janma Mrutyu Jara Vyadhi Pidito Karma Bandhane Anadi Nidhano Deva Shankha Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundrikaksha Preta Moksho Pradubhavaha Shashankha Chakram Sakarita Kundalam Sapit Vastram Sarase Ruhekshanam Shahar Rakshasthala Kaustubham Sriyam Namami Vishnu Sirasa Chaturbhajam Yasasaman Matrena Janma Sansar Bandhanat Vimuchate Namastasme Vishnave Prabhu Vishnave Namah Samatbhutanam Yadibhutaya Bhurbhute Anek Rup Rupaya Vishnave Prabhu Vishnave Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. Ladies and gentlemen, actually only gentlemen here, we all know that we all are here to pay last respect to Mrs. Indumati Vallabhdas Ruparelia, who passed away peacefully on 18th May 2020. She was a daughter of Uddhavji Bhai and Revaben Lakhani. She was born on 12th of March 1942 at Kibigori near Kisumu, Kenya. She finished her education and then married to Vallabhdas Ruparelia and then went to Uganda. Her in-laws, father-in-law Ravji Bhai and mother-in-law Santokben Ruparelia and Ruparelia family, they all are very religious and she mixed very well with them. Her married life was very happy. They have 3 sons. Indumati was very brave, hardworking, generous, kind, and selfless person. She always thinks about others before her. She was a social, thoughtful person who would not allow you to leave her house without having something to eat and drink. She was proud and independent. She will always remember because she left lots of memories behind her. When we lose our loved one, we feel sad. Sometimes we cry when we cannot control ourselves. But in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that Nainam Chiddanti Sastrani, Nainam Dahati Pavaka, Nachainam Kalantyapo, Naso Sayati Maruta. Means soul is forever. Weapon cannot cut it, nor can fire burn it. Water cannot wet it, nor can wind dry it. So Indumati Ben's soul will stay with her family forever. Whenever they need her, they will feel her. Our Sanatan Hindu Dharma believes in reincarnation. All our holy books like Ramayana, Srimad Bhagavatam, Garuda Puran, Even in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that Chattasya hi dhruvo mrityu janma mritasya cha tasmad pariharthe arthe no tvam sochitu maharshi. Means in that case, death is certain for the born and rebirth is inevitable for the dead. Therefore, we should not grieve over inevitable. In Srimad Bhagavat, Lord Krishna says that our body is like a tree and our heart is nested in it. Two bird lives in there. One is soul, one is spirit. Soul never dies. Spirit has 1 year journey from here till Dharmaraja's court. To make her journey smooth, we do Shraddha Vidhi, we fast Agyaras, chant God's name, do some charity. In olden time, we used to do Shraddha Vidhi every month till 1 year. Nowadays, we do all ceremony in 1 day. After 1 year, Jiva arrives in Dharmaraja's court, and there is an accountant we call Chitragupta who reads Jiv's karmas. If Jiv has lots of good deeds in account, gets Sadgati, means born somewhere good place, gets good, healthy, brainy body, good family, and forget us. In Gujarati, we say Sadgati Malikai. So Induben's friends and family has 11 and a half months. If they fast more Agyaras, chant lots of God's name, read good books, do some charity, and then after 11 and a half months, pray Almighty God. All these good deeds we're giving towards Indumati Ben Shiv. She will get Sadgati or salvation. She left behind her his 3 sons, Kirit Bhai, Hitesh Bhai, and Paresh Bhai. 3 daughter-in-law, Jocelyn, Sharon, and Nina. 1 grandson-in-law, Robin Cox. 7 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren, other big family and friends. Let's pray Almighty God to make her journey smooth. Give her Sadgati. Oh God, give her family and friends strength to come out of this big loss and unhappiness. Jai Shri Krishna. Now, if someone wants to give your speech or
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Randoma. I am the eldest son of Vallabhdas Ruparelia and Indumati Vallabhdas Ruparelia. What can I say about Mum? Mum was a real character in its biggest sense of the word. Some words to describe her are generous, loving, intelligent, witty, sharp, naughty but nice, hot on discipline, tough but fair. Most of all, and simply, just loving. She always asked if you is Jocelyn okay? Simon, Natasha okay? And if I'd said things hadn't gone well, she'd say, I know, as if it's all going to be all right. She always presented the 3 boys. She always used to say, Kirit, Hitesh, Paresh. She always bundled us all together. When I think of all of these things about my mum, they also hold true of all of the golden generation which we are seeing slowly but surely pass from this life to the next. They include both my bas, both my bapujis, my dad, my Ben, Jiraset, my Mansukaka, my Sadakaki, my Mota Mama, Bagukaka, Vinod Nasa. A very dear friend of mine called me the other day and reminded me of their journey, how far they've come over 60 years from very different lives, many struggles. What they've seen is really incredible. Think about all of those places in Gujarat, to the places in Uganda and Kenya, and to the places in the UK. Picture their journey, which has been incredible. My mum's journey was very, very much the same. in many ways coming to a cold climate as it is here compared to Uganda. Working all the hours God sent to be able to feed the families, few luxuries, but always, always a lot of food and a big heart and a warm welcome. My mother was one of the most positive people in many ways that I've ever met and had the privilege to know. I remember very well traveling by coach to London from Leicester on very many cold days. I remember we had very little money, even just enough to buy some drink at Victoria Coach Station, and waiting for my mama to pick us up. And we shared some of this drink, and my father would say to my mom, "Don't worry, one day I will drive a Rolls Royce." And my mom would smile with all the belief in the world that this was going to be possible. She never once said it's not possible. That dream, of course, came true for my father. That level of positivity from a mother that had so many challenges really describes the spirit and the strength that my mother had. When things were not good, which often they had hit her harder than most people, she would just get through it. I'm certain that not many people have had the challenges that my mother had, but I am certain that despite the cards that she was dealt, she made the most of it. I'm incredibly proud to call Indumati Ruparelia my mom. I love you, Mum. I hope and pray that Mum is with all of the golden generation of people who passed through our lives and influenced us so strongly that she's smiling at us with pride and joy. We love you, Mum. Jai Shri Krishna and Jai Ram Nama.
I'm Hitesh Ruparelia, second of three sons to our beloved parents Indumati Ruparelia and Vallabhdas Ruparelia. My wish today is to honor Mum by recognizing and giving thanks to all those who enriched Mum's life and gave her care, support, and love. Firstly, thanks to all the carers at George Hythe and Aberdale House who provided professional and compassionate care for my mom in her last couple of years. Thank you. To Sonam and Neha, who spent so much time daily to provide companionship, conversation, meet her personal needs, give homemade food, and keeping Mom rooted and grounded in her Gujarati and Hindu culture when she wasn't always fully able to integrate in her later days. I know you treated my mom as your own mother. Sonam and Neha, thank you. To the medical staff who over the years helped Mom through so many physical, mental health and medical difficulties. This includes her GPs and especially Dr. Minesh Patel, who saw Mom's medical needs in a very personal, professional, and dedicated way for over 2 decades, taking time to visit Mom at home after he finished surgery and before he went home. On my regular visits to the surgery to see Dr. Patel with Mom, when he was giving advice, he would always start with the words, "Well, if it was my mom," and then Dr. Patel would carry on. Thank you, Minesh, for treating my mom as if you were treating your own mother. To all the NHS staff in Leicestershire, the paramedics who needed to make many visits whenever Mom was seriously ill, and that was often, you always smiled and showed kindness to help Mom to overcome her fear. And to all the health professionals who treated and looked after Mom whenever she went in for her regular and unexpected urgent admissions. Thank you for making sure that Mom was always able to recover and come back home no matter how many times she was in hospital. And now, to all the family and friends who are medical trained, Kishore Mama, Amy, Emmanuel, Toby, Nikhil, Janki, Sudhirbai, Beena Babi, Praveen, Bhai Bhagaita, Sanjay, Lisa, just to name a few. Thank you for your professional advice and help, especially at critical moments in Mum's life, in guiding us as brothers to ensure that the best medical care was given to Mum. Thank you to every member of the Ruparelia and Lakhani Parivar for simply loving, accepting my mum through thick and thin. And especially the ladies who shared their sisterhood with her. I have to give a shout out to our wonderful Massies, Mummies, Faybas, Kakis, cousins, nieces, daughters, and daughter-in-laws. Even though Mom did cheat when playing cards during your ladies' nights, she did it to win the pot and give her winnings to the children. A special recognition needs to go to two ladies in particular. My late Sharda Kaki and Mom joined the Ruparelia family at around the same time, and Sharda Kaki always looked out for Mom. Their connection was unique, and their joint efforts helped to positively shape the Ruparelia family for generations. Thank you, Sharda Kaki, for being a partner with my mum. Seema Kaki, you have such a strong bond with my mum. From the day you joined the Ruparelias, you have been there for my mum. I won't say too much because I know you'll get embarrassed. I just want to say thank you, Seema Kaki, for being the daughter my mom never had. Excuse me. To my brothers, our wives, our children, and our grandchildren, you gave Dadiji so much love, happiness, and reasons to make her be proud of you. Thank you. To my mom's late parents, Adavji, Ganji, Lakhani, and Ravaben Lakhani, I want to give you thanks for bringing Mom into the world, giving her such a wonderful childhood and raising her with strong values, faith, and foundations that Mom has passed on to us, our children, and our children's children. Thank you, Bhai and Bapuji. To our late Bhai and Bapuji, Dada and Dadi, Ravji Bhai Kalidas Ruparelia, and Santak Ben Ruparelia, who adopted Mom into the Ruparelia family and took over the care and responsibility as loving parents when she married Papa. You did a fantastic job, and we're indebted to you. Thank you, Bhai and Bapuji. Papa, I have to do this for you, Papa. I know you wanted to outlive Mom because you knew that her heart would be heartbroken if she left us. And it did break. But before you departed, for over 60 years, you cherished, protected, provided for, gave great joy, and loved Mom unconditionally through the tough times and through the many, many good times. Thank you, Papa, for being a wonderful husband and best friend to Mom. I want to thank God for blessing us with the gift of my mom, for making our lives richer and more complete. We entrust Mom back to you, God, and pray that you provide grace, mercy, your warm embrace, and loving kindness for her soul and eternal spirit. And finally, thank you, Mom, for being you and being Mom. May God bless you, keep you, and give you everlasting peace and joy. We love you, Mom. I love you. Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Rama. I'm Paresh Vallabhdas Ruparelia, the youngest son of Vallabhdas Ruparelia and Indumati Vallabhdas Ruparelia. Now, the Urban Dictionary describes mom as the woman who loves you unconditionally from birth, the one who puts her kids before herself, and the one who that you can always rely on or count on above everyone else. Now, this summed up my mom. Now, there are so many other things I'd like to say about my mom, but it's going to take ages, and I don't have that, as I've been reminded. But I'm going to go through a few things that made her so special. And some of these things already been mentioned. She was selfless. Mom always put other people before herself, especially when it came to taking care of us and the grandchildren and others, especially Ma and Bapuji. I just wish that I could have done more for her. She was creative. Whether it was knitting, sewing, cooking, or baking, my mom did it all so well. Again, I wish she would have passed more of that creativeness down to me, but that's all right, I forgive her. She was strong. She worked throughout her life. From the day we landed here, she'd always get a job, right? Whether it was making little bows for shoes to stick on at home, and we used to help her at night times. Overlocking at home when we had the factory. Working in a toy factory, and the best of all, working in a biscuit factory, because every Friday night she used to bring bags of biscuits to us, and that was amazing. She was mischievous, like Kerry mentioned earlier on. So although she had a serious side of her, she was joyful. And recently I was told about a story where she was a little girl in Gibigori. Now, she was the first girl in the family, so the responsibility of her taking to school was left to Botuk Mama and Amish Mama to make sure that she got to school safely and back again. But often she'd hide in the bushes, and you'd take them ages and they would never return without going back with her. Right? And if there was a scratch on her, right, they'd get into trouble. She was intelligent. She used to help us with our maths homework, or the way she was taught. And we'd always say, no, Mom, that's not how we do it. But I'm sure that frustrated her, because now, when I try to help Niall, he says the same thing. That's not how we do it. Well, this is how you're going to do it. But she was also intelligent about her day-to-day things that she did. And she made everything else look so effortless. Earlier on this year, we took her out to Chart House, a place that we used to visit when we were young after going to the cinemas, right? And we sat there, myself, Nihal, Nina, we sat there, and she sat opposite me. She was frail, and she looked blank. She was looking beyond me. And I sat there thinking, oh, well, she's probably thinking about other things, about memories. She turned around to me and said, Daddy, pass a base at it? Which means, do you have any cash on you? I said, no, but I got a card. Do you want to buy something? And she looked at me. She said, well, there's a sign there, so they don't take card payments. You better get to the cash machine. At that point, I knew physically she was frail, but her soul and her mind were strong as ever. She was supportive, whether it was emotionally or looking after the grandchildren, making food for us, decisions that we had to make, or even financially. And whenever we needed her, she was there. She was unique. I can honestly say there was no one like my mom. And this is one of the reasons we love her so much. She was never afraid to be herself, especially when it came to queuing up. She'd always find a way to get to the front, right? And a technique I've yet to learn when we used to go to Poppets. It doesn't matter how long the queue was, She was in there, we were there, in there, 5 minutes, out again. Great shopping experience for me. She was diligent. She used to take up many tasks at one time, but always made sure they were done well. And she always managed to do it well as well. And she was beautiful. Whether she thought so or not, she was beautiful inside and out. Although I never told her, I always appreciate everything she did for us. I come to the last bit. This is on my script, but I'm going to add a bit more. I've been told not to, but we've had Thanksgiving to everybody else. What I would like to say is, again, I'm going to mirror what Hita said about Simakaki, Narikaka. They've always been there, Simakaki especially. A daughter, and I know she's my kaki, but I would always have to call her my elder sister. And I remember when they first got married, and we used to live in Highbank, and they used to live on Beaconsfield Road. And many evenings, right, we used to go down to Beaconsfield Road, and we'd have chai and bread, masala chai and bread, right? And I used to think, they're just newly married, but we're always there, right? But Simakaki never, ever, ever said anything. No matter when we went, she was always happy to see us. And, her shanty was there. And those were really fond memories for me. And every now and then when I'm having my bread dipped in masala wali chai, those memories come back. Driving my mom at 10 o'clock at night to Beaconsfield Road, having a chinwag with Harshanti and Simakaki, and Narika would go to sleep and Ba would be there, and Ba would bring out the gachas and everything. Lastly, as a thank you to Hitesh and Sharon and the kids, right? You've been amazing, really have, with your family commitments, your own personal stuff going on. You've always, always been there for mom and dad. Without you, and taking that burden on, it would have been harder for us. So I want to say thank you to you, all of you. That was not in there, so this is the last bit now. So she was loving. This was her biggest attribute. She loved unconditionally, and she loved everyone differently in her own little way, either by being a wife, a babi, a daughter, a sister, a masi, daddy, and above all, a mom. And she never wanted to be, all she ever wanted was to be loved back. She loved all three of us, the three sons, the same. And like Kerry said, even when she called us, she'd say 3 names. Get it to the Spanish? But we were all equal, but one. She called me buddy, which means angel. Actually, she was my angel. I'm going to finish off with this. There's a verse in a song that I want to read out to you, and it goes like this. I hope that I see the world as you did, because I know a life with love is a life that's been lived. You're an angel in the shape of my mom. When I fell down, you were there holding me up. So, Mom, spread your wings as you go. And when God takes you back, we'll pray and He'll say, you're home. Mom, love you for always. Jai Shri Krishna and Jai Ram.
We'll be having some further testimonies now for people who are not with us here, but we will be playing those right now.
Jai Shri Krishna. I wanted to say a few words about Mum. When I first met Mum, our relationship seemed slightly tricky when she realised her son wanted to marry me, but after that rocky start, she was always more than welcoming to me, explaining the Hindu culture and beliefs, sharing the wisdom of her natural healing remedies, and forever trying to teach me how to cook, some of which I've taken on board, and I still make her recipes, but somehow I've always failed with the rotlis. I felt I really got to understand her more when I spent some time visiting her in hospital on a daily basis a couple of years ago. We talked a lot about her early life in East Africa, and also when she came to this country. We shared laughter and a few tears during that time, and I came to admire, respect, and love her more for it. The fierce love Mum always felt for all her grandchildren was so apparent. She delighted in them with unconditional love and affection. Always so generous with her gifts, her time, and her knowledge. Her last years have been an undoubted struggle. The loss of my father-in-law particularly hard to bear. But we remember her with much affection. Her sense of fun, her generosity, and kindness. Mum, I learnt a lot from you, and I'll miss you. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Randalma.
I first met Mum 34 years ago. I remember being welcomed into the family home at Beaumont Road. Straight ahead, Mum was in the kitchen, busy cooking dinner for her family, and for me, a guest. It was the first time that I'd experienced an authentic Gujarati meal, and Mum was delighted to serve me this delicious meal. Over the years, I, with my growing family, have loved Mum's cooking, always served with freshly made, hot, buttery rotli. Ready-made would not do. Before she sat down to enjoy her own meal, Mum would insist on feeding us first. You see, Mum had a serving heart. She loved nothing more than to care for and serve her family. I'm grateful to Mum for showing me what it means to serve. Mum considered the needs of others before herself. Mum willingly gave her time to bless us. Mum cared for her husband, for her children, and for her grandchildren when we were ill, which included making us various herbal remedies. Especially in recent years, it has been my turn to honour and serve Mum. She was always so thankful for my time. At times we also prayed together, and I'd be praying for Mum for her healing and for peace. In her final days, I spoke over her. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favour and give you peace. Thank you, Mum, for your serving heart, for the love you gave to us in abundance. I love you, and I'll miss you.
Om Shanti, everyone. We all are here this afternoon to pay our final tribute to a departing soul of my sweet mother-in-law. Mum, it broke our hearts to lose you, but you did not go alone, because part of us went with you. We appreciated all the things you did for us and our family. Parishmi and Neha will always cherish the unforgettable memories you have left with us. We will always miss you, and may God bless your soul. Om Shanti.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm Indumati Daddyji's grandson. What I will remember fondly was going to visit her all the time when I was younger, visiting her and my grandfather, seeing all the cousins. She was always very welcoming, and we knew she loved us because she was so happy to see us. And one memory that I remember fondly was not too long ago when it was just me coming round to see her, and she made me about 12 chapatis within about half an hour. I ate all of them, and they were delicious. And that was one of her many talents, was making very delicious food, and I will miss all of those qualities that she had.
I'm Natasha, Indumati's granddaughter. Like Sam said, I think something that I'll really fondly remember is just her being so loving and caring for all of her family, especially her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren. I'll always remember her coming up to me and being so happy to see me and pinching me really hard on the cheeks. But I think my most fond memory of her is whenever we would speak to her on the phone is she'd always end the call. She would say, "I love you," and we would say, "I love you too," and she'd always say, "More than you," and laugh and hang up, and I don't think I will ever forget that. It was really lovely, and I'll miss her a lot.
Hello, I'm Bethany. I am the third grandchild and first granddaughter of Vallabhdas and Indumati, my Dadaji and Daddy G. And I want to share with you a little bit about Daddy G. For me, one of the things that I liked most about her was just how hospitable she was, just always the first to offer you food or drink, made sure that you sat down, relaxed, rested. You always had food and drink on hand, and that you didn't have to do anything. And she always just wanted to make you feel comfortable, and yeah, she was a really hospitable woman. And the other thing is how much she was a teacher. She was teaching all the time when she was with us. So whether she was cooking or cleaning or playing with us or whatever it was that she was doing, she always taught us. She explained why she was doing things and how she was doing it, and I've learnt so much from her. And one of my favourite memories that I have of her is her teaching me how to cook my favourite curry, okra curry, and how to make chapatis, and sitting on the counter at High Bank popping popcorn and rolling out chapatis, and her showing me how to do it properly because I would always get it wrong. And yeah, she was always teaching us, and yeah, she's a wonderful woman.
Hi, I'm Ethan, and I'm one of the grandchildren of Indumati, or my Daddy G. I've got a lifetime of fond memories with my Daddy G. Sitting up on the counter in the kitchen, rolling out chapatis in circles, or in my case, squares, or staying up to midnight to watch cartoons together, or being constantly hounded about how long my hair was getting, to the point where I think about 9 years old, Daddy G paid me £100 to go and get my hair cut. Might as well be $1 million at that age. Daddy G was very particular about things. Not fussy, but particular, as we always said. And as many of you know, she had a way, if you ever say something bad, you have to counteract that with something good. If you say morning, you have to say wedding. And I think the idea is that if you say something bad, you have to put something good out into the world, and you leave the world in a better place than when you came into it. And that's definitely something that I can say about Daddy G. She's left the world in a better place than it was before. So to make up for anything that I might have said, I'll say wedding, 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 and I love you, Daddy G.
Hi, I'm Imi, and I feel so fortunate to have had Daddy G in my life for 21 years. One of my fondest memories with her were the countless hours spent in her kitchen, learning how to make chapatis. That time together is very special to me, and how she showed her kindness and patience every time, especially as I could never do them right. She would take every opportunity to spend time with her grandkids and do anything she could to make us feel happy and safe. Daddy G loved and cared for her family so deeply, and her death has been a huge loss to everybody that knew her. The time spent with her will stay with me forever. I love you always.
Jai Shri Krishna. My name is Nihal, and I'm Dida's youngest grandson, and her favourite. Well, I think so. Actually, I know so, because she always made me feel special. All of our other grandchildren called her Daddy G, but I called her Dida, because Daddy G was too long for me to say when I was little. I'd like to say a few words about how amazing she was. She was kind, caring, loving, and she'd always have a smile on her face. I've already told you how special she made me feel, but she made all of our other grandchildren feel special too. My special memories about Dida are whenever I went to see her at her house, she would take me to the mandir upstairs and give me my favourite prasad, which was cashew nuts. And before I went, she'd always offer me bounty, and whenever she spoke to me on the phone, she always asked me what I had to eat, and if I was playing out, she would tell me to keep safe, because I knew I was precious to her like she was precious to me. I know you'll be with Dadaji now and happy, and you'll be looking down at me, smiling and making sure that I'll be safe. I'll always miss you, and you'll be close to my heart forever. Love you, Dida. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you, Ethan. I just want to say a massive thank you to Ethan, who's done a lot with behind the scenes. You won't see him today necessarily, but he's done a lot to make sure that we can actually get those tributes out today. So thank you, Ethan, very much. We'll all miss Daddy G. She cared so much for us, and we're all her favourites. Not just you, Nihal, sorry. Daddy G was generous. Many times I'd visit her at home and was about to leave, and she would turn to Dadaji and say to him, "Paisa, paisa." I don't speak Gujarati, so I didn't really know what that meant. I thought at first she was after pizza. She really wanted some pizza. I fully expected her to give her order of thin base and less puree, less tomato puree, which was very much her. I soon learned that, I don't even know if I was saying it right there, but I soon learned she wanted to give us money. Paisa, I guess that's right. And of course, Dadaji was more than willing. Although she would often say that we should save that money. It was an example to me of how much she cared for us and how much she cared for our future as well. One of Dadaji's favorite hobbies was to tease me about girls. Whether that was when we went bowling and picking out random girls, saying I liked them. It's just what she liked to do, I guess. Bethany remembers one of the names that she called one of them. Or whether that was chuckling along as I passionately tried to defend myself after she said she was convinced that I had some kind of girlfriend. That was all fun for her, not always for me. But when I introduced her to my now fiance, Abrielle, she was so happy. I know this because every time I would visit her, she would always ask how Abrielle was. She was so excited for us to be married and be living in Leicester, just so we could spend time with her. I'll miss those times of simply being with Daddy G, sitting with her. I think more than anything, she just loved being with people. She wasn't driven by money or success or career. She was driven by love for people and particularly for her family. I'll finish by saying this. Daddy G experienced a lot in her life. Happy times, yes, but also a lot of tough times. She was not always understood by people and had to battle through many hard days at times. But she was resilient and she was tough. You would have thought that would make her heart harden, but through everything, she remained loving, caring, and generous. That's not just a memory that will live in me. That's something of her that will live with me. She was tough and she was resilient, but she always remained loving and caring. I'll miss you, Daddy G. I love you forever.
Thank you. Before we move on, I just need to give couple more thanks. First of all, to the Luana community throughout the UK and the world, our family in India who've done so much, or my mom. The Luana community, Piyush in particular, has done all the communication for us. And finally, before I hand over, I just want to give a big thanks to Chagan Pai, who has done so much in advising us and helping us in all these difficult times. So thank you.
Please stand up for 1 minute. We're going to keep silence and chant God's name inside us. Om Jyoho Shanti Antarikshaggo Shanti Prathavi Shanti Apaha Shanti Aushadayah Shantir Vanaspatayah Shantir Vishve Devaha Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvagnu Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi Om Shanti 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 Shushantir Bhavanto. Who is going to do the switch? All three brothers or one brother? For this curtain. We say Jai Shri Krishna. હું બોલું ને તમે નજીકથી આવો રિપીટ કરજો મારા પાસે બોલજો સર્વે સર્વે વૈષ્ણવોને ગોકુલધામથી અમારા પરમ પૂજ્ય માતુશ્રી ઇન્દુમતીબેન વલ્લભદાસભાઈ રૂપારેલિયાના જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ સર્વે વૈષ્ણવોને અમારા સર્વે પિતૃઓના ગૌલોકધામથી જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ અંજલિ ગીત અંજલિ ગીત તમે કહેતો અંજલિ ગીત છે તમારી પાસે રાખો તો રાખીએ તો અહીંયા રાખજો જોયું આગળ થોડુંક મ્યુઝિક આમ ચાલે એટલે થઈ જાય
पाए प्रेम थी सौ मांगिए शरणों में साचो तमारो हे हृदय थी मांगिए जे जीव आव्यो आप पासे चरण मां अपनावजो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आपजो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आपजो वही कर्मना योगे फरी जे कुल मावे अवतरे त्या पूर्ण प्रेमे ओ प्रभु जी अपनी भक्ति करे लख 84 बंधनों ने लक्ष्य मालय कापजो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आपजो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने सत्कर्मनो दैवारसो जन्मो जन्म सत्संग थी किरतार पार उतार जो आलोक ने परलोकમાં ता प्रेम रग रग व्याप जो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आप जो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आप जो मोक्ष के सुख सर्गना आशा उरे નથી त्यो देह दुर्लभ मानवीनो भजन करवा भावती साचું बतावी रूप श्री गिरिराज हृदय स्थापजो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आपजो।